A common question is, can OCD come back at some point in the future? And in the world of infinite possibilities, technically anything is possible, but how do you make it so you fully recover, as so it's unbelievably unlikely that OCD will come back? You have to get yourself out of a crisis if you are still in OCD crisis, meaning stop doing rumination, stop doing compulsion, stop doing avoidances. Little by little, do the tracking, stop. Once you get to that point, you want to make sure that from that point you are still tracking. I can't overemphasize this enough, guys. If you are tracking, the second you get to 0, the second you're like, oh my God, Ali's method is amazing, I'm cured, I feel great, that's not the second that you stop doing the work, because you feel good, but you are not at full recovery in that first second. You just finally reached a point where, let's say, your OCD didn't come in for, depends on how it would even be, like a day or a week or a month where you feel like, I'm free. But it's just the first time where you feel that. That's not full recovery. What I view as full recovery is when you haven't had OCD thoughts for a while. You have gone through stressful times, good times, bad times, unpredictable situations in real life, and still didn't fall for OCD. You're able to drink coffee, live life as normal, go out, do whatever you want to do. That's full recovery. And that will happen over the upcoming months as you are plugging back into real life. But the second that you feel that you haven't had a thought for a day or a week, that's not the same second that you're fully recovered. So if you go through the tough work, right, getting everything down, right, you get that down, then you track afterwards. Also include real life stuff in it. If you start to separate of, I'm not letting myself ruminate about OCD stuff, but I'm letting myself ruminate over an argument I had with my partner, well, that's not going to be very good, because that's kind of a gateway to slip into OCD. And there's some normalcy to it. People do overthink from time to time, but train yourself to do it at an absolute possible minimum in terms of everyday life. Once you get to that point, it's very unlikely that you will fall into OCD the way you did before. And a lot of the times, this is a question that I hear from clients, is they're like, but what if I fall back into OCD how I was before? And if that's your question, understand that before, when you first fell into OCD, you had no idea how OCD works. So you were coming from a completely zero background, right? You had no idea. And of course, OCD got you into fear, got you to do compulsions, ruminations, all the things that you shouldn't do that feeds the OCD. You didn't know better. I didn't know better when I was going through OCD 20 years ago, almost 20 years ago. Right? So we didn't know, and that's why we fell into it. But now you do know, and now you have the information. So if OCD, in meta OCD way, right, this meta theme, tries to scare you with, but what if it comes back? You are not that same person who didn't know anything about OCD that took the bait on that first day. You are in a completely different frame of mind now. So don't let yourself worry about that, because it's an OCD ploy to, again, get you into rumination. Let's think about it. Well, what if I fall for it? That's what OCD wants from you. Don't give it that. Don't take the bait. You'll be fine. But just use those things that I told you. So track, get to 0, stay at 0 for a while, and be continuing tracking, okay? And then also include real life, and you'll be fine. I hope you find my videos helpful. If you want me to push you personally to full recovery, you can sign up to a recovery program on youhaveocd.com. I'll see you tomorrow.